Mario Party, released back in the year 1989. It was such a fun game. It was a party with Mario, and every turn you play a mini game, and if you win, you earn coins. And basically, the game that destroyed friendships. Amazing game. And then came Mario Party 2, the game that improved everything 1 had. And then came 3, even better than 2. Then came 4, and then came 5. Personally, my favorite Mario Party. Then came 6 and 7, and then Nintendo was like, you know what? Let's just change things up. 7 Mario Parties, and it's all the same. Let's just do different world objectives, like a tycoon town or just a straight path. And then 9 was like, you know what? Maybe it's just more of the same. Let's have cars in there, That's gonna be fun, isn't it? And people were like, screw this, we want the old things back. So, it didn't. No one cared. There was 8 games with the same thing. Well, 8 was kind of different, but no one cared. And everyone wanted the same thing again. And 9 kind of failed. Then Mario Party 10 was announced. And people were like, please return to the old formula. And Nintendo was like, fuck everyone. And they did the same thing again. Isn't that great? Well, luckily they returned to the old formula in Super Mario Party. Luckily they returned to that. We may take a look at that. However, today we're going to be seeing if Mario Party 10 is a fun game, and if it's worth picking up if you have a Wii U. And there's still some people out there that want to buy a Wii U because they collect consoles and they want to pick up a couple games. And we're going to be seeing if this game is worth picking up. So we're going to be taking a look at the boards because there's no story in this mode. We're also going to take a look at the modes, the extra content, and the mini games. If the games are worth picking up, the bosses, because there are bosses in this game, basically boss mini games. And I'll be telling you guys if I think this game is fun to play or not. And also tell you what this game did right and wrong. So without further ado, hope you guys will enjoy. So, since Mario Party 9 kind of failed, they were like, yeah, we still want the cars, but let's add something new. So in Mario Party 10, there's still Mario Party mode, same mode as mine, go around the board. But in Mario Party 10, they added Bowser Party. I think this is a pretty cool mode. We're going to go into that later. This is basically one person takes control of your gamepad, and the other 4 people need a Wii remote. And the person with the gamepad is Bowser, and they have to take out the 4 players. I think this is a pretty cool spin on the car mechanic, and this is basically where Mario Party 10 was going for. They only advertised, like most of the time, they advertised only Bowser Party, and there's a lot of new mini-games and everything like that. There's even Bowser mini-games. And basically, in this mode, what you have to do is run away from Bowser and get to the end without him defeating you, but we're gonna move on in death in a minute. But that's basically kind of what Mario Party 10 was going for, with the car basically kind of the same as Mario Party 9, but also adding Bowser Party with Bowser minigames. You have to kind of run away from Bowser, which kind of makes sense why the car's in the game, I guess, because Mario Party 9 is like, why is there a car here? We don't need that. And that is like, yeah, you need a car to run away from Bowser, With this said, we're gonna go in everything this game has to offer. Alright, so the modes of the games are Amiibo mode, Bowser Party, and Mario Party. Amiibo bonus game, Toad's Rec Room. Again, don't mind the language, I'm Dutch, I do. After a Mario Party game, you earn points, and in Toad's Rec Room, you can spend the points in... So the modes you have in Mario Party 10 are Amiibo Party, Bowser Party, Mario Party, Toad's Rec Room, bonus games, Amiibo bonus. So we're gonna go into the small modes first. Toad's Room has basically things that you can buy. For example, you can shop things, for example, for new characters, new difficulties, new vehicles. You can purchase music to listen to, or you can purchase characters for photos. Because there's a mode called Photo Mode, you can purchase backgrounds and characters, and with that you can make some random funny photos. I have made a couple pictures back in the day, like you can make some cool ones. Oh, what the fuck is that? You can say I tried the weird things, I'm sorry. And you can also just make photos. And you can listen to the music, and that's pretty much Toad's Rec Room. There's also bonus mini games you can play, for example, Badminton Bash. I also wonder why this is in the game. You can also play Jewel Drop, a really bad version of Tetris. You can also play Bowser Jr. mini games, which are pretty lame, okay? There's a minigame tournament where you basically take on a couple mini games, and you need to be the first player to win, basically. And there's Bowser Challenge. You basically, in this mode, you play Bowser mini games, and basically have to collect as much hearts as possible by basically damaging the players, and at the end, they will count up the hearts, and depending on how many hearts you have, your throne gets improved. But if you play it again, and you get a worse ranking, your throne gets deranked, I guess that's what you could call it. So you can try and get the best throne possible. And then there's Amiibo bonus, it's just pretty lame, tap an Amiibo and you get the bonus from points. And then there's Amiibo Party. See, there were these kinds of toys that are called amiibos, Skylander ripoffs, and on the Wii U, for example, you could earn bonuses in a certain app, or you can unlock certain things in certain games, or in this case, you can play a mode. They even went that far to make a game out of it, but we're not gonna say the name here because that game is pretty terrible. You know what it's called. Then there's the main thing of this game, Bowser Party. The Bowser Party boards are Mushroom Park, Whimsical Waters, and Chaos Castle.
Really? 3?
First map, Mushroom Park. It's basically an amusement park, and there's actually happening spaces on here, and if you land on those, you can actually ride the rides. Whimsical Waters. This map is all about the guy named Dragon Eel. You can pick a chest, and on one of these chests there's, for example, hearts, a dice, or a fish. If you get the fish, you'll actually lose hearts. I think you do this 3 to 4 times on this map, so this map is all about the guy named Dragon Eel. And the last map of Bowser Party, Chaos Castle. This map has a couple lava hazards here and there, but this map is more focused on the Bowser events. I'll go more in depth on the Bowser events and Bowser Party in a second. My opinion about the maps, they're alright. And I'm talking about the themes. For example, the layout I don't really care about, but the themes. For example, I'm not really the biggest fan of the themes. For example, Mushroom Park, but we'll go more in depth in the second one. We'll be talking about Mario Party, because some boards in Bowser Party are also in Mario Party, so I'm going to be talking about in a minute. But you know, I don't find the themes that impressive. Anyway, what is Bowser Party? One player takes control of the gamepad, and 4 take control of the Wii remote. If you want to play with 5 people, of course. Personally, I think that's really cool. Like, this is the first Mario Party where we can actually play with 5 people, so that's pretty cool in my opinion. But anyway, one person takes control of Bowser, and the other 4 of Team Mario. So what do? Team Mario always begins. They all roll a dice, and for example, in total, all the 4 people roll about 20 spaces. I'm just saying something. Then it's Bowser's turn. Bowser gets 4 dice rolls. Same as like everyone else, because otherwise it wasn't really fair. And if he gets it, the right number, he can go chase after you. And if you have, for example, 18 spaces and Bowser rolls 20, you're gonna go into a Bowser mini-game. But if Bowser doesn't roll 18, for example, he can re-roll. I think that's kinda cool, because then you have a chance to get the number again, but also have a risk in getting a lower number. And I know people that hate this game are not gonna like what I'm gonna say. I actually like Bowser Party. Alright, here's the reason why I kinda like this mode. Simply because it's just kinda chaotic. You wanna get away as Bowser as far as possible. And it just kind of, I don't know, it just gives a cool feeling if you're far away from him. And I don't know, it just, I can't really explain it. I just find this mode really fun. For example, if you're playing with friends, one person could take control of the Bowser, you're always just trying to mess with everyone. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why, but I really like this mode for some reason. Anyway, there's also different board events to help Bowser. For example, there are Bowser Jr. spaces. It's just basically a bad luck event, and what can happen is either Bowser gets another dice roll, or Bowser gets insane, or a Bowser minigame starts. There's also dice spaces, and if you land on that, Bowser gets an extra roll. There's also negative spaces. If you land on those, Bowser loses a dice roll. Block thingamajig, whatever you want to call it. So basically running around from Bowser, at the halfway point, there's a womp you have to defeat. He has 6 hit points, and if you get a 6, he's defeated. If you get something lower than that, he still has the amount of HP left. That's his 4 turns, and after his 4 turns, it's Bowser's turn. So this is an easy way for Bowser to catch up and stuff, and if you defeat the womp, you actually get more hearts. Alright, you're at the end, but it's not over yet, because there's Bowser Jr. with a superstar. There's basically 3 random enemies from the game, just random enemies, it's always different each time. It could be Petey, Piranha, and Koopa, it could be a Womp or something like that, but basically Bowser can hide the superstars on one of the 3 enemies, Koopa, Bowser Jr., or Petey, Piranha. Then you have to see, or guess, in which one the superstar is. If you guess it right, you win. If you guess it wrong, you're gonna get knocked back. You can either be safe, but you can also be knocked into Bowser if Bowser's really close. I think that's really cool, because it's just another, like, you think you're at the end, but you're not done yet, because you're gonna play a little mini-game. If you're gonna make it back again, though, the Koopa is gone, so you have a higher chance of actually winning. But, you know, I think this is a cool little chance for Bowser to still win, and I really like to add this, but I think Bowser Party is not really balanced. I like the mode, I really do, but I think it's too easy for Team Bowser to win. Because there's not a lot of points where you can get hearts. Sure, there's lucky spaces where you can get more hearts, or heart space where you can get more hearts. But it's not always a guarantee you're gonna land one of those. So most of the time you can only get hearts if you reach the middle point. Because when I was playing with friends, I beat them in like 4 freaking turns. And my friend did that to me too. So personally I think this mode is not really too balanced. I do like the Bowser Jr. spaces and, for example, the ending minigame. It just adds a little more exciting on there, and it doesn't always guarantee you're gonna land on Bowser Jr., so I don't mind it that much. Sure, it helps Bowser out, and Bowser's already an easy, like, you can already defeat you really easily, but it's not always a guarantee you're gonna land on one of those. But I think if they added more heart space, or just another checkpoint for you to get hearts or something like that, I think this mode would have been perfect. Maybe the maps, maybe a little bit longer, and also more unique Bowser events, because in Bowser Party is also a thing called Bowser events. For example, in Whimsical Waters, Bowser can distract you from choosing the right chest. They have to trick them into choosing the wrong chest. For example, there's a fist in the chest, and Bowser has to trick them in picking that chest. I mean, let's be real here, if you're gonna play with human players, who's gonna fall for that? Doesn't care what you're doing, they can just... who cares? But Bowser can actually see what is in the chests. Or, when you have to choose an ink path, Bowser can actually see which path is good and which path is bad. You have to basically trick them in going the wrong way. I think this is not the coolest thing ever, and I'm pretty sure the Music Park level doesn't even have any Bowser's events except for the end. And that's why I like Chaos Castle so much, because you can actually set traps. You don't know which one he activated, and if you land on them, you lose hearts. So, if you're going the wrong way, yeah, you can land on bad luck space and whatever, but here you can actually get hurt, and you didn't know which he actually activated. So it's just a 50-50 chance. He could either activate all the burns on one side, or do a 50-50, do 2 on one side, 2 on the other. So that's why I like Chaos Castle more, and wish they had more of these Bowser events in Chaos Castle, with traps. For example, a path you can choose with holes, and in those holes are lava bubbles, and Bowser, for example, can set 4 lava bubbles or something like that, and if you choose the wrong path, then lava bubbles pops out, you can get damaged, you lose hearts, just something like that. But I actually like Bowser Party for what it is, and if it returns, I don't mind if it returns. Even as a bonus mode, I don't really mind if it returns. Because this actually makes sense that the car is in here. Like in 9, it's like, why is there a car here? I don't want to. Get out of here. Same in this game with Mario Party mode. But in Bowser Party, it actually makes sense. You're running away from Bowser. And I don't know, it just gives you such a cool feeling if you're far away from Bowser and stuff. But it actually makes sense that the car is in this mode. But anyway, that was it for Bowser Party I want to be talking about. Now we're going to move on to Mario Party. Let's go! Where'd you freaking Wii remotes? So, the boards in Mario Party are Mushroom Park, Haunted Trail, Whimsical Waters, Airship Central, and Chaos Castle. I'll talk about the gimmicks in a minute of each board, but, I don't really like the themes. I do like the Airship Central level, and that Boo level, because I think those are unique themes, because you don't see that every day. But if we just take a look at the older Mario Parties, there were so many cool boards, more unique themes than just your lava castle. Although I like the map and like the Bowser events and stuff, I just don't like the theme of it. It's just been in a lot of Mario Party before. Or the underwater level, it's just an underwater level. Or that Mushroom Park, I believe what it's called, that level. It just feels like a grass level. Like the first half of the level feels just like a grass level, and the other half feels kind of like an amusement park. Not really that much, but there's not even a lot of rides. Like, there's not even a lot of happening spaces where you can ride on one of the rides. And it just doesn't feel unique. For example, there are more unique boards. For example, Deep Bluebird Sea. But isn't that an underwater level? Yes, but hear me out. This board was unique because of its happening spaces. Like, it all had to do with fishes. Like, each fish, for example, had its own unique happening space, and it's what makes this board stand out. Or there are maps like Pirate Dream. That map is one of my favorite maps of all time, and it's a pirate theme. Or Western Land. You know, I just wish they went for more cooler themes. Again, the airship level and the Haunted Trail world are really cool, and I actually really like those. But I just hope they went with cooler themes instead. Anyway, what you do in the Mario Party mode is the same kind of mode that you had in Mario Party 9. You're in a car, go to the end. If you're at the end, congratulations. Hope you had the most mini stars. If you did, then you win. See, there's these things called mini stars. If you have the most at the end, you win. No stars, no coins, just mini stars. There's also the purple mini stars, and if you get those, you get minus mini stars.
Is that the only way to get mini stars?
No. You can also get mini stars by defeating bosses. I'll show you which bosses are in the game in a second. But you can also get bosses by playing mini games. And this is something I completely hate about this game. You don't play a minigame after each turn. You have to land on the freaking minigame space to play a minigame. And it's also random if it's a 2v2, 4v4, or 3-4 as you say, or 1v3. I really don't know why they decided to not do it after every turn like they did in Mario Party 9. And I'll also talk about the minigames in just a minute. And I just wished that minigames were at the end of each turn. But something new in Mario Party 10 is the Bowser cage. Bowser is stuck in a cage. And on its cage, if you look at the gamepad, it says a number 1 through 6. If each number gets rolled and Bowser is freed, he takes your mini stars of the person, like the person that rolled the last number he needed to be freed. He'll take your mini stars and add Bowser spaces to the mix. If you reach the halfway point, and Bowser is not freed, Bowser is closed, locked up away, and he will never be freed again. And Bowser Jr. takes over. He'll add a couple Bowser Jr. spaces, but no one's mini stars get lost. And I do gotta say, I do like that actually, because you don't want to roll that last number. And it just, I don't know, it just gets exciting if you're like, ha! You got the number, I didn't. Screw you. And it's just so much more cooler if the person in first place rolls a 5, and 5 is the last number. And then Bowser takes away his mini stars, and then you're first. That's just such a great feeling. Alright, the board gimmicks are, in Airship Central, there are the ships that switches. There's normal ships and good ships. Every turn, they switch. So if you're not on a airship yet, and there's the good airship, then the next turn it switches to the normal airship, and the next turn it switches to the good airship again. There's also bad airships, and each turn they switch around to the normal and the bad one. On the bad one, there's basically Z mini stars, I don't know what you call those, the purple ones. And then the turn after it switches with the normal ones. On Haunted Trail, there are spaces that are called boo spaces. If you land on them, someone gets affected by a boo. Each turn, that boo takes mini stars away from him. It's only on one person. Then at the halfway point there's a light, and like at different spots in the map there's also lights. Then the boo gets defeated, you don't lose any more mini stars. So, I like this board a lot, because you don't want to be the person that lands on that boo space, or walks past it. You don't have to land on it. If you go past it, you also get the boo. So, I really love when I get a 1 or 0 dice block, because if it's just one space in front of it, you want to get that 0. And as I said, Chaos Castle is all about Bowser. In Chaos Castle, there are not really any events, except for just a couple hazards, like there's some bad luck spaces that, for example, a lava monster pops up, you lose stars. And there's not really any special gimmicks, if you know what I mean. You just have to get to the end to defeat Bowser. It is also kind of the same for Mushroom Park, only there are a couple spaces here and there that allow you to go on a ride. And Whimsical Waters, as I said, had the Dragon Eel. It's the same on Bowser Party and Mario Party. Then, the mini-games. They're alright. I mean, like, after 10 games I kinda ran out of ideas, and I could understand that. But the minigames are fun. They're not bad. Like, I don't know one Mario Party that has one bad minigames. Sure, there could be a couple bad minigames here and there, but I like the most amount of minigames in this game. There's minigames like, you have 3 hearts, and the person that reaches the end with the most amount of hearts wins. There's defeat the most amount of enemies to win. There are, of course, the boring minigames. And there's other minigames where you just fight each other and be the last person standing. So again, the minigames are okay, not the best ever, but they're fun to play. So, we talked about minigames, there's also boss minigames. So, as I said, in Mario Party at least, at the halfway point and at the end, there are bosses. A mini-boss and a boss. The boss in this game are Gigantic Goomba. Climb atop a ladder to jump on him. Petey Piranha. You basically throw bombs at him, but Petey Piranha can also suck them up and spit them right back at you to lose points. Sledge Brother. This is basically the same boss fight in Mario Party 9 as that Dry Bones. Seriously, this is just the same, only with bullet bills.
Isn't that exciting?
It's pretty boring. There's King Boo. You basically go to the switches to damage him. There are switches give you 3 points or 1 point. This also boosts disguise as platforms, and if you jump on them, you lose a point. There's Cheap Jump, probably one of my favorites. You have basically 3 shots, 3 shells. If you run out of them, you can't shoot him and damage him anymore. Each hit, the Cheap Jump turns around. You want the Cheap Jump to land on someone else, if you do, you lose 2 points. I think this is probably my favorite boss. There's Blooper, basically match your cards to damage him. There's Marnie Mole, walk through a maze and be the first person to get out of the maze to get the golden cannon. If you don't, you get the silver. If you third, you get the bronze. If you're lost, you get an eeny meeny blacky cannon. And if you don't make it at all, you just die. Then there's Kamek. Basically throw fireworks at him. The golden fireworks give you 2 points. 5, and the small one give you 2 points. Kamek can also throw bullet bills at you. If you hit those, you lose points. Then there's Mecha Koopa, a pretty lame boss, so we're gonna move on. There's Bowser. You can only fight him in Mario Party mode. You can't control the tank. For example, you can't play Bowser Party in Chaos Castle and at the end you're playing this minigame. Just wanna say that real quick. You're not controlling Bowser, it's just a boss. Basically, he's in a tank, shooting balls at you and spitting fire at you. And you basically damage him by shooting balls at him too, and if you get a mushroom, you get big, and you can get 2 points instead of 1. So, each boss has a life bar. If he gets to the half point, he gets mad. Most of the enemies just basically get more enemies. For example, the Goomba adds some scrolls to the mix. Boo's has more Boo platforms, and Cheap Jump just gives you less time. Probably my favorite is Bowser. He gets harder as well, but if Bowser at our halfway point is 10, actually explodes and stops working, then Bowser is shot into the lava, drowning in lava. But then suddenly, out of nowhere, a light pops out of the lava, and Bowser turns into not Mega Bowser, Dry Bowser. I don't know what it is with me and Dry Bowser, but I love Dry Bowser. I don't know what it is with me and Dry Bowser, but I love him. And now he basically shoots blue fireballs at you while shooting at. You can also jump to the background and shoot a row of fireballs at you. So this is probably my favorite boss of the game. We talked about minigames, we talked about boss minigames, there's also Bowser minigames. You don't play these like landing on a Bowser space in Mario Party mode, you actually play this in Bowser Party mode, and basically you get your lives, Bowser can hurt you, and if he does, you lose lives. There's different minigames like Bowser shooting fireballs at you, to smash you with a hammer, to tilting a platform with fireballs, and many more. If you go to bonus games and go all the way to Bowser Challenge, you can play each minigame in a row, trying to get as much hearts as possible to get a better throne. But if you play it again and you do worse, your throne can actually get worse. So you want to get as much hearts as possible. You play each Bowser minigame, trying to get as much hearts as possible. Personally, I think this is a really cool mode. And that's pretty much everything you need to know about Mario Party 10. And I know you didn't hear the music yet, but we're gonna get to that in a minute. I know I say we're gonna get to that in a minute. I'm hoping it's true. Don't die. But yeah, I'll be letting you guys listen to the music in just a minute, and I'll get you guys my opinion about this game, what this game does right and wrong, and if this game should be picked up today. If you're looking for a Wii U and you're looking for a couple of games, there's some people that out there to do, or you just already have a Wii U and you want to improve your Wii U collection and also play the games. Should you pick up this game then? But yeah, that was basically everything about like Bowser Party, Mario Party, and Amiibo Party. So I'm gonna let you guys to listen to the music and give you my opinions on the music. Alright, the music is alright. The music is not the best ever. Like, It's nowhere near
Holy shit!
levels of exciting, but it's enjoyable to listen to. Here, take a listen. Here's the intro theme. I mean, I just hit you with that bop. I mean, let's just play some Mario Party 10, shall we? Okay, let's wait.
Out of my freaking ear!
One diamond actually had it too loud and it scared the crap out of me. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the music. Here's Mushroom Park. Here's Angry Green King Boo theme. Airship Central theme. Peacefully Snow theme. And that was basically everything in Mario Party 10. So, is this game worth buying? Yes and no.
Well, that's a clear answer.
So personally, I think the game is worth buying. But it isn't worth buying in this case. Like, I bet you if this game was without Mario, it was with different characters. I'm just saying something. But with different characters, basically. You know, the game is the same, only, Mario characters taken out and different characters. No Nintendo or something like that. So, someone made this game. Then I think this game, actually people will like this game. But it's because it says Mario Party and it's the same as 9, people just don't like it. And I bet you like 9 exists, right, with the car and stuff. As someone else made 10 but without Mario characters, people would actually like the game. So yeah, oh, it's gonna like 9 here and there. But I think people would actually say they like the game more than when they see this. Personally, I think the game is fun. Because when I play with alone or with my friends, I had a good time. I always like to mess around with my friends just playing Bowser Party and just mess them up and stuff. Kind of fun. It is really fun. But, yeah, if you're gonna buy this game, you're gonna have a great time with it. And sure, it's not as good as Mario Party 1, 2, or 5, for example, but it's still fun. Like, I'm still glad they returned to the old formula in Super Mario Party. Sure, Super Mario Party has also a couple of things I'm like, why is this here? We don't need that. But, you know, if you're looking for a great time, then this is a good game to pick up. And yeah, this is the only Mario Party on the Wii U, so yeah, you don't really have any choice if you're looking for a Mario Party on the Wii U. But yeah, I still think this game is fun. And I personally had a great time. But there's always gonna be people like, yeah, just freaking play the older Mario Parties because this one sucks. Just buy the old ones. Well, you can, but like, some people just ride for the old Mario, if you know what I mean. It's kind of hard to explain. People don't want to buy this game because this is not Mario Party, because it's so different from the others. I do gotta say, I like this way more than 9, because I think, sure, there's less content, but I think the Bowser Party is really fun, and in my opinion, it's way more fun than 9, because 9, yeah, it had a story mode, but it's basically playing through all the maps and then just fight a boss at the end, which you can also do in the normal Mario mode. But I think Bowser Party is really fun, and I like this game way more than 9. Do I want the card to return though? Absolutely not. Sure, this game is fun for what it is. You can have a great time with it, but I don't want the card to return. Thank you very much. And I can definitely understand if you're gonna rank every Mario Party ever, that this is not gonna be in your top 5 or top 8. It's probably gonna be number 10 or number 9. And I could definitely understand that because this is so different from Mario Party 1, 2, 3, etc. But hey, that was it for today. Next week, we're gonna be taking a look at The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD. What? Another Wii U game? Yes, another Wii U game. I'm sorry. I will get to the Switch games eventually, for example, Mario Maker 2 comes out. But if I'm gonna do like a freaking review of Mario Odyssey, everyone knows this game is great and stuff. But yeah, next time, you guys can join me on The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD. See you guys next time. Now I'm gonna clean up the freaking mess I made. The whole freaking floor is wet because of that one freaking thing I did. Oh my freaking...